What's up guys, it's Chillis, and today I'm going to be taking a look at what is probably the most broken core to ever come to the Ultra League, and especially in the Ultra League Premier Classic Cup. Of course, I'm talking about the Trevenant Walrein core. It's incredibly strong. If you haven't already heard, it's only weak to 6 Pokemon, and I'm going to have them listed on screen right here. It's going to be Obstagoon, Lapras, Pangoro, Scrafty, Zangoose, and Stoutland. And remember, in the Ultra League Premier Classic Cup, that's going to be non-XL Scrafty and Zangoose. I don't know that many people that are running Stoutland and Pangoro, so really that just leaves Obstagoon and Lapras that threaten this core. And even then, Lapras not the strongest answer for Trevenant. So really, it's just Obstagoon that you have to handle, and even if it's not just Obstagoon, all of these things are weak to counter users, so you throw a good counter user as your third, and you're just chilling. I mean, I'm going to be using a Scavalier as my third because that's what I was seeing as best for the meta. Plus, this is really just the team that I put out last season. Last season, I put out this exact team. I used Gyarados as the lead instead of Walrein, and it took me to page 2 of the leaderboard. So now that we have Walrein, which is even stronger, I expect even better results. So we're going to be jumping on into some of these battles here shortly. If you are excited for today's video, make sure you do hit that like. It does help me out quite a bit. But yes, this team worked incredibly well for me. This is a pretty spicy team that I was up against here with a double psychic. You're going to see a little bit of a mix here. Some of these are going to be more spicy teams. Some of these are going to be more meta teams that I am up against. But you're going to see even the teams that I lose to today are going to be like 1 or 2 fast moves away from me winning. That's how strong this core is. So here we go. Up against a Gallade lead, that's going to be a pretty challenging lead for this team. I'm going to go ahead and chip away with an Icicle Spear. It's going to do a lot of neutral damage, and then we're going to be swapping out into Trevenant because I don't want to take a close combat or even a Leaf Blade on my Walrein. So they're going to be bringing out their Obstagoon. This is pretty good for me. I mean, we get the Obstagoon out here instead of aligned with our Walrein, and we're going to be able to counter down eventually with our Scavaliers. They're going to hit me with the Night Slash, of course, no boost. That is good news, and we're going to just chip away with these Seed Bombs. Seed Bombs, of course, not the best move, not going to be doing too much, and the Shadow Claws being triple resisted are doing absolutely nothing to this Obstagoon. So Obstagoon can take us out at this point. We're going to be coming in with our Scavalier and just committing to the farm down. Do they make it to a Night Slash? They do not, so we just got some free energy right there. In the back, it's going to be a Charizard, so pretty hard counter team, unfortunately, but I'm going to be coming back in with Walrein and building up extra energy before I throw an Icicle Spear. I do call the Blast Burn right there. Good shield on my part. Here's the Icicle Spear. Do they let it connect, or do we get their first shield? They do let it connect, puts the Charizard into the yellow. Gallade coming back in, and we actually call it right here. It's just the Leaf Blade. We do survive, and going to be throwing the next Icicle Spear, excuse me, right here. This will be plenty to take out the Gallade, and at this point, my Walrein's pretty low health, right? Probably not going to make it to a charge move. Wrong. Walrein in the Ultra League has some serious bulk to it. Maybe not as bulky as a Lapras, but it's pretty daggum close. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, the non-shadow version has just got off so many 1 HP Icicle Spears that I honestly think that the non-shadow is probably better. All we needed was that next drill run. We faint with it, unfortunately. So GG's. Well played to my opponent. That's one of the battles that you can see just one fast move away from winning, even though it kind of felt like it should have been a hard counter loss. Alright, into this next one, picking up a positive lead against this Trevenant. We're going to be overfarming because normally when you see Trevenant lead and they're staying in, they're going to try to catch that Icicle Spear on something. They go for the Shadow Ball, which if they're just going to let the Trevenant faint, it makes sense. Shadow Ball does do more than the super effective Seed Bomb, but they actually throw up a shield, which I'm like, not really following your plays right here, but maybe they have a plan. So a little bit confusing right there, but they did catch that Icicle Spear on their Obstagoon. I can come in now with my Scavalier and I can just commit to the farm down. We're going to eat a cross drop here. So I started these battles in the 2600s. I am now at the 2800s. That was after today's set. So I believe these battles are going to be building up to 2750. So I gained about 150 on the day. No 5-0s. It was just 5 positive sets. Alright, my opponent makes a really nice play right here. They come in with Crobat to catch the double resisted Mega Horn there. I should have gone Run. I was just expecting the Trevenant to come back in. So Trevenant coming back in now to catch this Icicle Spear. My opponent is playing this perfectly, but they give up a shield on their Trevenant. I have a 2-shielded Trevenant now, and that is deadly. I can go ahead and shield up the first move here. It is the Seed Bomb bait, but I know they're not going to make it to a Shadow Ball, so I am going to call it right here. Is this the Seed Bomb? Am I correct? It is the Seed Bomb. So now we have loaded energy on Trevenant plus a shield going for this Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball from Trevenant is no joke, as y'all probably know. Boom, nearly takes out this Crobat. All we gotta do is make it to this double resisted Seed Bomb, and this will be plenty to KO, and that's gonna be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. So definitely some challenging matchups that we had to work around there. Some great plays by my opponent, but still able to take the win. Alright, up against an Escavalier lead, not a lead that we want to see, but we have 2 decent answers with the Mirror and with our Trevenant. They're going to be coming out with Walrein. We're going to be pumping out these Seed Bombs as quickly as possible. We did get a little bit of an energy lead, but not too much. So they're going to be throwing the Icicle Spear here. I know that my Trevenant can tank 1, and I know that getting switch is just not likely against this thing, so we're going to try to take shield advantage. Here's the next Seed Bomb. It does get a shield. We're going to be happy with that. They're going to be able to farm down, but I can come in with my own Walrein and just soak up the energy right here. So this is probably an Earthquake, but we know our Walrein doesn't have a ton of play with them having a Escavalier in play, and I'm going to be catching this next Icicle Spear on my own Escavalier. So they're going to be coming out now with Trevenant. So yes, they are running the same team as I was, just in a different order. And really, you would think that this is an easy win for them because they have the alignment that they want. But I have shield advantage. I have energy lead here. This is still playable for me. I'm going for the Mega Horn. It connects against this Trevenant. And at this point, I'm like, you know, countering down a ghost, not really something I'm trying to do today. I'm going to go ahead and eat what they throw right here. It's just the Seed Bomb, and I make it to the Run. So this Run will be enough to take out this Trevenant if they decide to let it go, which they do, and I can immediately swap into my Walrein. So I build up to the Earthquake and I throw the bait. They actually catch it on their own Walrein, and I undercharge because I know I can come out with 100 energy if I play this correctly. I still have 2 shields. Remember, even though my Walrein is very low health, I got 2 shields. So going to be shooting up this Earthquake right here, farming up to 100 energy, committing to the farm down, and going to be throwing the EQ into this Escavalier. Do they give up their final shield, or do they try to call it? They try to call it. It connects. All we need is an Icicle Spear to KO, but they snuck a counter through as I was throwing this. So I'm going to be passing that counter to my own Escavalier, but I don't know what happened. For some reason, my Walrein still took damage from the Escavalier, and my Escavalier didn't get a counter through when they got a counter through. So I end up, again, 1 fast move short because the game just didn't work as intended there. So definitely a frustrating loss, but hey, we'll take it. Definitely winnable situation, but you know, is what it is. All right, into the next one, we're going to connect with the Shadow Ball against this Sylveon. And if I ever see a Charmer swap in, I just automatically assume this is going to be a double Charm team. So I'm going to play it as such, going to be building getting the shield right there, and then coming in with my Escavalier to start getting ahead on energy. I'm expecting it's going to be Togekiss in the bag, and unfortunately Escavalier does not have the best matchup against Togekiss, so I'm going to be saving my shields for my Walrein, trying to play around this. Dazzling Gleam does do big damage, and they're going to be coming out with actually a Venusaur in the back. So very interesting. Venusaur, not a great matchup against Escavalier. I'm going to be throwing this Mega Horn. It does connect, puts them into the yellow, and now I'm going to be building up some more energy. I want to bank a Run and then swap out. Now they do throw energy here, and in hindsight, I probably survive a Frenzy Plant from this range, but I wasn't sure that I did, and I was like, you know, I gotta use these shields at some point, so I shielded that one up, and then I shielded this next Frenzy Plant here on my Walrein. They're gonna be coming out now with their own Escavalier, and we need to get this final shield off, plus we need to be able to chip away at them. They're going to be throwing right here. It's just the Trevenant though. They don't go for the Mega Horn. Maybe they're running Acid Spray, I'm not sure, but that allows us to get to this Earthquake very easily. It connects, puts them into the red. Now all I have to do is make it to this Icicle Spear. This will get the final shield, and it's going to come down to CMP. They're definitely going to have a Trevenant loaded, but I also have a Trevenant loaded. Who wins CMP here? My Escavalier wins CMP, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Definitely ended up pretty close. Came down to CMP, as you saw, but GG's, well played to my opponent. All right, into the next one. Up against the Shadow Machamp lead. Very tough lead. We're going to be swapping out immediately and going into Trevenant. Now, they're going to be answering with an Alolan Muck, and at this point I'm like, you know, I think I know what team this is. This is likely to be the Wholesome team. It's been featured on Yasser Elite's YouTube channel as well. I'll try to link that in the description below so y'all can check out this team. It's a very strong team. I think it's very strong in this meta, but my opponent definitely makes a misplay. They go for the Acid Spray there instead of just taking me out with the Dark Pulse, which allows me to get a shield off this Alolan Muck. The Alolan Muck should have never had to give up a shield. And then we get a little bit of chip damage here with the Seed Bomb as well. So this is looking pretty good for me. If it is the Wholesome team, it's going to be a Snorlax, likely a Shadow Snorlax in the back. And again, they go for the Acid Spray. I don't shield, but they do make it to another charge move right here since I did not throw my energy. And it is a Dark Pulse, so does big damage, but at this point they're out of energy. I'm going to come in with a Escavalier to start loading up on energy. So here comes the Machamp. We are going to have to two-shield our way through this Machamp, but it pretty well confirms that it's going to be Snorlax here in the back. That means we are in a pretty good situation here. I can go for this Drill Run just before they get to the next Cross Chop, and it does grab the final shield. They're going to be throwing the Cross Chop here, and I'm going to also be shielding. Now, I need to throw this next Drill Run before they get to the next Cross Chop, so I'm counting their moves, and they swapped out when they were still 2 away from the next Cross Chop. I'm going to keep that in mind as I play out this battle. They caught on their Snorlax. Not a big deal though, because we can make it to this next Drill Run, force them to throw their energy, and then I can come back in with my Walrein. I know Machamp is 2 counters away. I need to be 1 Powder Snow away from the next Icicle Spear. So that's what I do. I build up 1 Powder Snow away. We throw the Icicle Spear to take out the Snorlax. 1 more Powder Snow. We're at the final Icicle Spear. This will take out this Machamp, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. I do think that that team is going to be pretty good against this core. However, my opponent made a pretty big misplay by going with the Acid Spray, and that's what allowed me to get that win. So yeah, take advantage of your opponent's misplays. And all right, into this next one. We are pretty well hard countering my opponent with these first 2 matchups. I have my Trevenant aligned with their fighter. I had my Walrein aligned with their Alolan Muck, which of course we can just Earthquake, which does not one-shot, by the way. So don't think that it will one-shot, but it does do a lot of super effective damage. So we build up to the back-to-back Seed Bombs. I went ahead and let them connect with that second Ice Punch because I know that a Muck is going to come back in and they're going to be able to farm me down. So I don't want to be too healthy on my Trevenant anyways. So yes, Muck comes back in, farms me down. I can come in with my Walrein now and just go straight. You know, honestly, with the energy lead, I probably should just go straight Icicle Spear, but I was feeling spicy. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake right here. Let's see, does this connect and how much does it do? It connects, puts them into the red. In the back, they have a Gallade. Now, this battle is not over. Gallade does outpace Escavalier in terms of energy. If they can bait correctly, they can potentially still win this. I'm going for the Drill Run right here, and I recognize that baiting is their win con, so I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. Is this the double resisted Leaf Blade? Yes, it is. What a call. That is putting me in a much better situation here. I can go for the Drill Run at this point to grab their final shield. I'm now up 2 shields, and they're going to be throwing again now. I expect this is going to be just another Leaf Blade. It won't KO, which does give them a little bit of farm, but I didn't want to shield that and them end up with a lot of energy against this Walrein. So Walrein comes back in, They know throwing isn't going to help them, so I can just go straight for this Icicle Spear to take out this Gallade, and Muck comes back in. All we gotta do is make it to another Icicle Spear, and we're gonna be able to 2 shield flex on the opponent. You love to see it, but GG's. Well played either way. Alright, let's jump into the next battle. Going to be Walrein up against a... Okay, so this is a very spicy battle. My opponent is using a level 40 Frostlass. Very cool to see. Very spicy. And we're going to be going straight for the Earthquake, knowing that, like, there's no way this is a good matchup for the Frostlass. All they can hit us with is Shadow Ball. Everything else is double resisted. So I'm like, you know what? Bring on the Shadow Ball. I have a full health Walrein that can easily tank this. And yes, we easily tank it. So I'm going for the Icicle Spear now. At this point, it probably KOs this Frostlass. They do throw up a shield so they can get off their next Shadow Ball. And honestly, Walrein might be able to survive it with like 1 HP, but I do respect it and I throw up a shield. They're going to be coming out now with a Typhlosion. I go straight for the Earthquake. In hindsight, like, this is a guaranteed shield. I probably could have gone for the bait, but just in case they no shield, I go straight for it. I'm coming now with my Trevenant, and I will make it to Shadow Ball before they make it to the back-to-back Blast Burn. So we showed up the first one, and we are 1 Shadow Claw away from the Shadow Ball. This will be plenty to take out the Typhlosion. It all comes down to what they have in the back. They're going to be coming out with a Luxray. Yes, this trainer is mad spicy. I have a lot of respect for them, and honestly, if I wasn't on like a 5-game win streak at this point, I probably would have just handed them the win. They also make this amazing play to catch on Frostlass right here, giving their Luxray as much of a chance as possible. But I can come in with my Escavalier. They need to throw a Psychic Fang and then a Wild Charge to be able to KO my Escavalier, but they go for the Wild Charge first, which is their misplay, because now they're going to be throwing the Psychic Fang, and it's just not going to be enough thanks to Escavalier's Steel typing. So we make it to the Drill Run. We're going to be able to take out this Luxray. GG's. Well played to my opponent. I do respect the spice. I love it. If you know who this trainer is, you know, tell them I said hats off. Like, very cool team. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Let me know in the comments down below what you're running in the Ultra League Premier Classic Cup. Are you playing in the Open Ultra League? And if so, let me know why. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you also leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.